Hey guys, welcome to the Body and Soul Shop. Paul Herman here. You ready to rumble? Today we're talking about this 60s custom 39 Ford pickup cab body. Started with, morphed into everything else. My customer come to me and said, Paul, I want to build something nobody else has. Just let's have at it. I got this cab, he said, and I've got a Buick nail head. Being this is a 65 dual quad 401 nail head. It's the real deal. The nail head though was lavender. Somebody had painted it lavender. But it was a fresh build. We stripped it all down and started over. So anyway, we started with a 39 cab. Got a 38 Chevy grill shell-ish, which is what we kind of started with. This hood scoop are the door bullets off a 48 Chevy that I put together and fabbed all that up. The exhaust system is quite an intricate piece. I had Sanderson make me the blanks with about 6 inches of stub on it, and everything else I bought 90s and 45s and everything, and welded it, metal finished it. Got it all together, everything fits and flows through the exhaust cover there. There's a big collector under there so we can have dumps on it, so it can be loud or it can be quiet, either way. Okay, so I wanted the cowl to flow with the way the pipes are right here. So instead of having where the fender bolted down through here, this has all been all new fabricated piece here. Of course, if you remember, they used to have an indentation through the style line right here. I took all that out, and there's a reason for that. I'll explain that later. So keeping with the Buick theme, I used 53 Buick headlight bezels. Built the headlight buckets out of fiberglass. Oddly enough, I'm going to tell you one of my secrets. I started out with a motorcycle helmet. Added to it. It worked out really well. We have Buick-style fin brake drums on it, but they have wildwood brakes inside them. It's a pretty cool setup. Guy in California built them. Real happy with them. Them really turned out cool. So this is a 38 Chevy grill shell. I fabbed up all the grill teeth or bars out of 1/4 inch round stock, had it chromed. I'm not sure if we're going to keep this or not. This was a bumper guard that I had off of something and just was playing around with it. I'm kind of thinking we probably won't put it back on. So what we're doing now is my customer, once we got it to a certain stage, he likes to take them home and drive them around in primer and kind of work any bugs or whatever out of them. And so he's finally decided, let's go ahead and paint it. So it's going to be blue metal flake with white scallops on it. That's been the plan the whole time. I'll continue to show you other things as we go around it. So we're going to completely blow this thing apart, everything, and start over and paint it also. For those of you who don't know, one of these original trucks, when you shut the doors, it sounded a little flimsy, right? Well, this one sounds like Fort Knox. So when my customer come to me, he said, Paul, I want something that nobody else has. My mind starts running, right? So I remember down in the projects here in the local town, was a 59 Chrysler Windsor 4-door setting. Had beautiful fins on the back. It was a good solid car, but somebody had started butchering it. So I told him about it. He went down, and a couple hours later he come back. He said, where do you want it? So that's how we got started with the back end. These exhaust covers right here are actually the tops of the fenders off that 59 Chrysler. I altered them a little bit to make the exhaust covers. We also extended the cab 3 inches because the guy is pretty tall that owns it, and so he didn't want to chop it, but we did extend it to give it a little bit more leg room inside. These little vent areas right here were just something I come up with off the top of my head. I thought it would look cool on there, so I incorporated that in. So this whole top section right here is the part of the fin off the 59 Chrysler Windsor. We used the rear bumpers on it, tail lights. So we used part of the original rear bumpers. I altered them a little bit, and we sent them out and got them chromed. This rear section here is original. Parts of this is original off the 59 Windsor. Part of this is the original trunk lid that I incorporated in to finish it off. Was really blessed to find some NOS taillight lenses. Holy cow, that doesn't happen too often. Now I'm not 100% done with the rear roll pan. I want to French in the license plate area. But let me tell you how I made the roll pan. Okay, this roll pan is actually the back of the roof off of 54 Chevy truck that I had sitting here off a cab. So it worked out really good to make the roll pan. And like I said, I'm going to French this in a little bit, and that'll make that a little bit more finished off looking. Okay, so the bed floor in this is hickory veneer. And then I just took stainless bed rail corners and wrapped it around. We decided not to put any strips in, just kind of leave it plain like that. And I think with the blue metal flake and everything, it's going to really pop. I think it'll look really good in there. Okay, so one of the challenges was how to graft this in to the back of the cab and make it look as natural as you possibly could. And that was a little bit of a challenge on this one. But as you can see, the way I did it, incorporated it right in through here, welded it all in, and finished it off. And I think it came out pretty good. It's very accessible to the floor if you want to put something back there, you know, your luggage to go to the airport or whatever, I don't know. But probably never have anything back there. But that was one of the challenges, with getting this all to flow together. And I think it's pretty good. Also, keeping with the Chrysler motif, right? Used old Charger gas cap. I thought that really kind of made that pop in the center there. I just really love this trim piece from the factory Windsor. I thought it was just so cool, so we sent it out and had it re-chromed. Like I said, it's going to be metal flake blue. It'll have white scallops on the side of it, is our intentions. So I think we'll kind of play off of this, these bullets and stuff here on that. 4-bar suspension coilovers in the back. Keeping with the 50s, 60s hot rod theme, custom theme. Stuck with the chrome rims and bullet center covers. The interior is going to be all white. We use 65 Galaxy XL bucket seats in this. I remember when I was a kid, my brother had this teal green 65. And the frame went bad, so he pulled the seats and stuff out of it and you know, partied it out, whatever. He kept these seats in his house in the basement for probably 25, 30 years. And when I started building this, I'm like, I know where the seats are at we're going to use. So we're going to use those. Keeping with the Buick theme, I used one of the headlight bezels in the dash, and I'll show you how I incorporated that. I used one of the 53, 54 headlight bezels here. Classic Instruments blessed us with this nice gauge. Love it, man. It just fit perfect in there. Of course, I used 55, 6, 7 Chevy ignition switch. The column drop was out of a 65 Econoline van that I had. This was sitting back there on the shelf forever, and I thought about it and I'm like, that's perfect for this thing. So we sent it, had it chromed. Of course, you remember originally the speedometer on 3940s, all those was over here. And so what I did was took that out, I replicated a glove box over here, glove box on this side. But this side here, if you open it up, the master cylinder and everything's up inside of there. That's one of the cantilever sideways ones. Keeps the firewall really super clean and everything. Plus the headlight switch and a few other things is in behind there also. What's not in here right now is we did not put air conditioning in here. I want to keep the motor as clean as possible, but we did want the fresh air coming in. So I'll show you in a future video because it's not in here right now. I took a 55 Ford Crown Victoria headlight bezel, turned it upside down, and where the little black slots are at, we cut them slots out to make it actually open. And then all the underneath of the dash is encased. So when you hit the, we've got an electric vent opener on it, so when you hit the switch for that, you get cool air coming out through this 55 Crown Victoria headlight bezel. It's really cool. Looking up here, the mice and stuff had got in here and had built a huge nest up in the top above the windshield, so it was all rotted out. Fortunately, the outside was solid, but the inside was all rusted through. So I was out back looking around at my scrap pile, seeing what I had that I could use. And this is the bumper filler, the rear bumper filler off the 48 Chevy that I built the air cleaner out of. I saw them sculpted lines and I just fell in love with it. I'm like, that's perfect. So that's what I used up here above the windshield. I said earlier about filling in the style lines on the doors and the cowl and stuff, how they used to originally had an indentation in them. So I had some 48 DeSoto trim, which is a wide trim that's rounded, and it looks much like this right here. It's rounded like that. So I've incorporated that into the interior door panels. So it'll have chrome up here, nice rounded chrome that matches the bell. It matches the style line on the outside of the door. So this will all be white rolling pleat in here. We've already fabbed up most of the interior panels and stuff, so the upholstery guy shouldn't have too hard of a time with it. Hopefully we saved him a lot of time. It does have a 700R behind the Buick nail head, so it's a 4-speed automatic. I think we got a 350 gear in the rear end. It's John's rear end, 9-inch. So hang with us while we tear down this true 60s style hot rod and give it a flake job. You're going to love it. And coming soon, what is this?